Data security is a critical issue in today's digital world, as the amount of data we generate and store continues to grow exponentially. From personal information to sensitive business data, the protection of data is paramount to prevent unauthorized access and potential breaches. That's why I've created this course on data security, where we'll cover the key topics and best practices to keep your data safe and secure. We'll start by discussing the fundamental principles of data security, such as confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and how they apply to different types of data. We'll also delve into the technical aspects of data security, including authentication, authorization, encryption, and monitoring, to help you understand the tools and techniques that can be used to safeguard your data. Additionally, we'll cover the importance of having policies and procedures in place to ensure consistent and effective security practices, as well as risk management strategies to identify and mitigate potential security threats. Whether you're an individual looking to protect your personal information or a business owner responsible for securing sensitive data, this course will provide you with the knowledge and skills to ensure that your data is safe and secure. Number 1. Confidentiality. Data security requires that data be kept confidential and inaccessible to unauthorized users. This means ensuring that data can only be accessed by individuals or systems that are authorized to do so. In today's world, data security has become one of the most critical issues for individuals and organizations. Confidentiality is a vital aspect of data security that ensures data is kept private and secure from unauthorized access. Confidentiality means that only authorized individuals or systems can access the data, and no unauthorized party can obtain it. The importance of confidentiality cannot be overstated, as it protects sensitive and personal information from falling into the wrong hands. Confidentiality is essential for several reasons. First, it protects sensitive information, such as financial data, medical records, and personal details, from being accessed or misused by unauthorized users. It ensures that the data is only accessible to individuals who have a legitimate need to access it, such as the owners of the information or authorized personnel. Second, confidentiality is crucial for maintaining trust and credibility with customers and clients. When organizations assure customers that their data is being kept confidential and secure, it builds trust and establishes a positive reputation. In contrast, any data breaches or security failures can lead to a loss of trust and confidence in the organization, which can have far-reaching consequences. Third, confidentiality is essential for complying with legal and regulatory requirements. Many industries, such as healthcare and finance, have strict regulations on data privacy and security. Organizations that fail to meet these requirements can face severe legal and financial consequences, including lawsuits, fines, and reputational damage. To ensure confidentiality, organizations must implement appropriate security measures, such as access controls, encryption, and secure data storage. They must also provide regular training and education to employees on the importance of data security and confidentiality. In conclusion, confidentiality is a critical aspect of data security that ensures sensitive information remains private and secure. It is essential for maintaining trust, complying with legal and regulatory requirements, and protecting personal and sensitive data. Organizations must prioritize confidentiality and implement appropriate security measures to ensure the safety and privacy of their data. Number 2, integrity. Data security also requires that data remain unaltered and trustworthy. This means that data must not be modified, destroyed, or corrupted in any way that would compromise its accuracy or usefulness. In today's world, data has become one of the most valuable assets for individuals and organizations. However, data can be vulnerable to a range of threats that can compromise its accuracy and usefulness. Data integrity is a critical aspect of data security that ensures data remains unaltered and trustworthy. Data integrity means that data must not be modified, destroyed, or corrupted in any way that would compromise its accuracy or usefulness. The importance of data integrity cannot be overstated. If data is compromised, it can lead to incorrect or misleading information, which can have far-reaching consequences. For example, if financial data is compromised, it can lead to inaccurate financial reporting, which can harm an organization's reputation and result in legal consequences. Similarly, if medical data is compromised, it can lead to incorrect diagnoses and treatment, which can have life-threatening consequences. Ensuring data integrity requires appropriate security measures, such as access controls, backups, and data validation procedures. Access controls restrict access to data to only authorized personnel, while backups ensure that data can be recovered in case of a security breach or other catastrophic event. Data validation procedures ensure that data is accurate and consistent by verifying its authenticity and completeness. Organizations must also provide regular training and education to employees on the importance of data integrity and security. Employees must understand the risks associated with data breaches and how to identify and report any suspicious activity. In conclusion, data integrity is a critical aspect of data security that ensures data remains unaltered and trustworthy. It is essential for maintaining the accuracy and usefulness of data, which can have far-reaching consequences for individuals and organizations. Organizations must prioritize data integrity and implement appropriate security measures to ensure the safety and reliability of their data. Number 3, availability. Data security also requires that data be available when needed. This means that data must be accessible and usable by authorized users and systems whenever they require it. Data security is critical in today's world to protect data from unauthorized access, modification, and destruction. However, data security is not just about protecting data from threats, it also involves ensuring that data is available when needed. Availability is a crucial aspect of data security that requires data to be accessible and usable by authorized users and systems whenever they require it. The importance of availability cannot be overstated, as data is essential for making informed decisions and carrying out critical business operations. If data is not available when needed, it can lead to delays, disruptions, and even financial losses. For example, if a financial institution cannot access customer data during a transaction, it can lead to delays and lost revenue. Ensuring availability requires appropriate security measures, such as backups, redundancy, and disaster recovery plans. Backups ensure that data can be recovered in case of a security breach or other catastrophic event. Redundancy involves duplicating data and systems to ensure that there is always a backup available. Disaster recovery plans involve having a plan in place to recover data and systems in case of a disaster or other emergency. Organizations must also provide regular training and education to employees on the importance of availability and security. Employees must understand the risks associated with data unavailability and how to identify and report any suspicious activity. In conclusion, availability is a crucial aspect of data security that requires data to be accessible and usable by authorized users and systems whenever they require it. It is essential for making informed decisions and carrying out critical business operations. Organizations must prioritize availability and implement appropriate security measures to ensure that data is always available when needed. Number 4, authentication. Data security requires that users be authenticated before they are allowed to access data. This involves verifying the identity of the user and ensuring that they have the necessary permissions to access the data. Data security is a crucial aspect of our daily lives, protecting our personal and sensitive information from unauthorized access, modification, or destruction. Authentication is one of the fundamental principles of data security, ensuring that only authorized users can access the data. Authentication involves verifying the identity of the user and ensuring that they have the necessary permissions to access the data. The importance of authentication cannot be overstated, as it prevents unauthorized access to data and protects against data breaches. With the increasing number of data breaches and cyber attacks, it is crucial to have robust authentication mechanisms in place to protect sensitive information. For example, if a hacker gains access to a user's login credentials, they can gain unauthorized access to sensitive data, resulting in data breaches and other consequences. Ensuring authentication requires implementing secure login mechanisms such as multi-factor authentication, biometric authentication, and other authentication methods. These mechanisms verify the user's identity before granting access to data, ensuring that only authorized users can access sensitive information. Organizations must also provide regular training and education to employees on the importance of authentication and security. Employees must understand the risks associated with weak authentication mechanisms and how to identify and report any suspicious activity. In conclusion, authentication is a critical aspect of data security that ensures only authorized users can access data. It is essential to protect sensitive information and prevent data breaches. Organizations must prioritize authentication and implement appropriate security measures to ensure that only authorized users can access sensitive information. Number 5. Authorization. Data security requires that users be authorized to access specific data based on their roles and responsibilities. This means that users must be granted access to data only if they have a legitimate need to do so. Data security is a top concern for organizations and individuals alike, as data breaches and cyber attacks continue to pose a significant threat to sensitive information. Authorization is a critical aspect of data security that ensures users have the necessary permissions to access specific data based on their roles and responsibilities. Without proper authorization mechanisms in place, users can gain access to sensitive information that they are not authorized to access, resulting in data breaches and other consequences. For example, an employee in a healthcare organization may have access to patient records that contain sensitive information. If the employee is not authorized to access the records, it can lead to violations of privacy laws and other legal consequences. Ensuring proper authorization requires implementing access controls and permission levels that restrict data access based on a user's role and responsibilities. For example, an employee in a healthcare organization may only have access to patient records that are relevant to their job duties. Access controls ensure that users are only granted access to the data they need to perform their job duties. Organizations must also provide regular training and education to employees on the importance of authorization and security. Employees must understand the risks associated with unauthorized access to data and how to identify and report any suspicious activity. In conclusion, authorization is a critical aspect of data security that ensures users have the necessary permissions to access specific data based on their roles and responsibilities. It is essential to protect sensitive information and prevent data breaches. Organizations must prioritize authorization and implement appropriate security measures to ensure that only authorized users can access sensitive information. Number 6. Encryption. Data security requires that data be encrypted to protect it from unauthorized access. Encryption involves converting data into a format that can only be read by authorized users or systems. Data security is a top priority for individuals and organizations, as data breaches and cyber attacks continue to pose a significant threat to sensitive information. Encryption is a critical aspect of data security that involves converting data into a format that can only be read by authorized users or systems. Encryption ensures that even if an unauthorized user gains access to the data, they will not be able to read it without the encryption key. This protects sensitive information such as passwords, credit card numbers, and other personal data from being accessed and misused. Encryption is particularly important for data that is transmitted over the internet or stored in the cloud. With the increasing use of cloud storage and remote work, it is crucial to have robust encryption mechanisms in place to protect sensitive information. There are various encryption techniques and algorithms that can be used to encrypt data, such as symmetric encryption, asymmetric encryption, and hashing. These techniques ensure that the data is converted into an unreadable format that can only be decrypted by authorized users or systems with the correct encryption key. Implementing encryption requires careful planning and implementation, as it can affect system performance and user experience. However, the benefits of encryption outweigh the potential drawbacks, as it provides a strong layer of protection for sensitive data. In conclusion, encryption is a critical aspect of data security that protects sensitive information from unauthorized access. It ensures that data is converted into an unreadable format that can only be decrypted by authorized users or systems. Organizations must prioritize encryption and implement appropriate security measures to ensure that sensitive information is protected from data breaches and cyber attacks. Number 7. Backups. Data security requires that backups be created and stored in a secure location. Backups ensure that data can be recovered in case of a security breach or other catastrophic event. Data security is a top priority for individuals and organizations, as data breaches and cyber attacks continue to pose a significant threat to sensitive information. Backups are a critical aspect of data security that ensures that data can be recovered in case of a security breach or other catastrophic event. Creating regular backups of data is essential to ensure that information can be restored in case of accidental or intentional data loss, hardware failure, or other catastrophic events. Backups provide a fail-safe mechanism to restore data to its previous state, reducing the risk of data loss and minimizing the impact of a security breach. It is important to store backups in a secure location, such as an off-site facility or cloud-based storage. This ensures that the backups are not affected by the same security breach or event that caused the original data loss. Additionally, backups must be regularly tested to ensure that they are functional and can be used in case of a disaster. Organizations must also ensure that backups are created for all critical data, including databases, applications, and other sensitive information. It is crucial to establish backup schedules that suit the organization's needs, taking into account the frequency of data changes and the recovery time objectives. In conclusion, backups are a critical aspect of data security that ensures that data can be recovered in case of a security breach or other catastrophic event. Regular backups must be created and stored in a secure location, and they must be regularly tested to ensure that they are functional and can be used in case of a disaster. By prioritizing backups, organizations can minimize the impact of data breaches and other events that can lead to data loss. Number 8. Monitoring. Data security requires that data be monitored for suspicious activity. Monitoring involves tracking data access and usage to detect any unauthorized or malicious activity. Data security is a critical concern for individuals and organizations, as cyber threats continue to evolve and become more sophisticated. Monitoring is an essential aspect of data security that involves tracking data access and usage to detect any suspicious or malicious activity. Monitoring data activity allows organizations to detect and respond to potential threats in real time, reducing the risk of data breaches and other security incidents. By tracking data access and usage, organizations can identify unusual patterns of behavior or activity that may indicate unauthorized or malicious activity. The monitoring process involves implementing tools and technologies that provide real-time alerts and notifications when unusual activity is detected. This may include user behavior analytics, intrusion detection systems, and security information and event management (SIEM) solutions. Organizations must also establish clear policies and procedures for monitoring data activity, outlining the roles and responsibilities of staff members and IT teams. This ensures that everyone understands their responsibilities and can work together to detect and respond to potential security threats. In addition to monitoring data activity, organizations must also conduct regular security audits to identify potential vulnerabilities and address them proactively. This may involve reviewing access controls, network configurations, and other critical security components. In conclusion, monitoring is a critical aspect of data security that helps organizations detect and respond to potential security threats in real time. By implementing monitoring tools and technologies and establishing clear policies and procedures, organizations can minimize the risk of data breaches and other security incidents. Regular security audits also help to identify potential vulnerabilities and address them proactively, ensuring that sensitive information remains protected at all times. Number 9. Policies and procedures. Data security requires that policies and procedures be established and followed to ensure consistent and effective security practices. This includes establishing security standards, conducting regular security audits, and training employees on security best practices. Data security policies and procedures are a critical aspect of protecting sensitive information from cyber threats. Establishing clear and consistent security standards, conducting regular security audits, and training employees on security best practices are essential to ensure effective security practices and minimize the risk of data breaches. To develop effective security policies and procedures, organizations must first identify their most critical data assets and the potential risks they face. This includes assessing the types of data that are being collected and stored, who has access to this data, and how this data is being used and shared. Based on this assessment, organizations can establish clear security standards and protocols that outline how data should be handled, who can access it, and what steps should be taken to protect it from cyber threats. Policies and procedures must also be regularly reviewed and updated to ensure they remain effective against the latest cyber threats. Training employees on security best practices is also critical to ensure that everyone understands their roles and responsibilities in protecting sensitive information. This includes educating employees on password hygiene, phishing scams, and other common security threats, as well as providing ongoing training to ensure that everyone stays up to date on the latest best practices. Finally, conducting regular security audits is essential to ensure that policies and procedures are being followed effectively and to identify potential vulnerabilities that may need to be addressed. These audits should be conducted by independent third-party auditors to ensure that they are impartial and objective. In conclusion, establishing clear policies and procedures, conducting regular security audits, and training employees on security best practices are essential to ensure effective data security practices. By taking a proactive and comprehensive approach to data security, organizations can minimize the risk of data breaches and other security incidents, protecting sensitive information from cyber threats. Number 10. Risk management. Data security requires that risks be identified, assessed, and managed to mitigate potential security threats. This involves implementing security controls and measures to prevent security breaches and respond to security incidents if they occur. Data security risk management is a crucial element of protecting sensitive information from cyber threats. It involves identifying, assessing, and managing potential security risks to mitigate the impact of security incidents on an organization's operations and reputation. To manage data security risks effectively, organizations must first identify potential vulnerabilities in their systems and processes. This includes identifying the types of data that are most critical to their operations and determining who has access to this data. Organizations can then implement security controls and measures to protect this data from unauthorized access, such as firewalls, antivirus software, and intrusion detection systems. In addition to preventative measures, organizations must also develop incident response plans to respond quickly and effectively to security incidents if they occur. This includes identifying the steps that need to be taken to contain the incident, notifying relevant stakeholders, and conducting a thorough investigation to determine the root cause of the incident and prevent future occurrences. Risk management also involves regular monitoring and assessment of security risks to ensure that security measures remain effective against evolving cyber threats. This includes conducting regular security audits and vulnerability assessments to identify potential weaknesses in security controls and measures and taking steps to address them. In conclusion, effective data security risk management requires a comprehensive approach that involves identifying potential vulnerabilities, implementing security controls and measures, and developing incident response plans. By taking a proactive approach to risk management, organizations can minimize the risk of data breaches and other security incidents, protecting sensitive information from cyber threats.